Hello everybody, welcome to my home in West London and thanks for joining me for the first of 3 insight films into the 2020 Investec International Music Festival season. We're all really disappointed, aren't we, that this year's festivals had to be cancelled, and I'm so sad not to be joining you in person for the insight evening at Julia and Henry's home. It's always such a fun evening with lots of great ambience and it's really good to meet all of you there. However, instead we're going to be working our way through what the programme as it would have been in these 3 short films filmed at my house, because we want to still make you feel that you're part of the festival, and we're going to keep the festival flame burning until such time as we can all meet together again. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to be taking an overview of each of the concerts in the programme. Remember, you can still refer to the concert programmes on the 2020 page of the Investec International Music Festival website, and I'm going to be giving you my insights into the music that's assembled on each of those programmes. And then again on the website, if you head to the 2020 page, you'll find listening suggestions and download links as to how you can tune into each of the pieces on the programme. So in this first film, I'm going to dive in with the first concert that we would have been hearing on Thursday, the 8th of May 2020 at the Menuhin Hall, the lyrical cello with the cellist Gary Hoffman and the pianist Wu Chen. So Chen needs absolutely no introduction from me, I'm pretty sure. She's artistic director of the festival, as well as being a wonderfully award-winning pianist and interpreter in her own right, a guiding spirit of this festival. Now, Gary Hoffman is also a long-standing friend of the festival. As you probably know, he's been living in Paris for the last 20 years or so, but he has very strong links with this country. In fact, he made his debut at the Menuhin Hall when he was just 15 years of age. Now, of course, he's an international soloist and chamber musician. So Chen and Gary were to have come together to perform this programme, bringing together the music of Mendelssohn with the music of Beethoven. Now, this is a massive Beethoven year. 2020 marks the 250th anniversary of Beethoven's birth in Bonn in 1770. So people like me are doing a lot of talking, a lot of thinking about the music of Beethoven. In this programme, Beethoven appears in 2 different lights, you might say. The first is the youthful, exuberant composer, which really shows Beethoven as a kind of Dick Whittington. He was born in provincial, well, not quite obscurity, but he really came to the big smoke, the big capital, to make his fortune. Bonn was a respectable and quite grand provincial outpost of the Holy Roman Empire, but Vienna was really where the action was at, and that's where Beethoven gravitated towards in November 1792. Now, around this time, Beethoven created this set of variations on one of the hit arias of the time from Mozart's The Magic Flute, which premiered just the previous year in 1791. And the aria that Beethoven took as subject of the variations was one of the hit Papageno arias from the second act. So there's nothing profound about that aria. It's a little bit of fun, and Beethoven comes up with 12 variations on it. 2 of them are actually in a minor key, it has to be said, but there's nothing too tragic about them. It's a bit like it's a sunny day, a bit like it is here in West London today, and a couple of clouds just briefly pass over the face of the sun before all is well again. It's meant to be entertaining and fun, with opportunity for showmanship from both pianist and cellist. Now then, with the other Beethoven work in the programme, the Cello Sonata No. 3, we're in different territory. Beethoven's life, or career, falls into 3 periods. There's the first period from which that set of variation comes. The second phase of Beethoven's career is what we call the heroic phase, the era in which he produced the Eroica Symphony, which he originally wanted to dedicate to the great revolutionary hero Napoleon. The Fidelio opera, which is all about unjust imprisonment and combating evil forces in that sense. And the Fifth Symphony, the most famous symphony of all, which really traces a journey between out of suffering into triumphant light at the end. And it was while working on that Fifth Symphony in 1807, 1808, that Beethoven was composing this third cello sonata. And it's in the open and flowing key of A major, and there's a lovely sunny aspect to the opening of this sonata as well. So there's a lot of, as I say, sunny optimism about this sonata in its opening and closing movements. There are 4 movements. But there's an internal struggle as well in the skirts of the second movement, which is full of kind of, it's a struggle and a little bit of darkness there. And it's very interesting to see that Beethoven, to the whole sonata, applied some descriptive words. He called the sonata "amidst tears and grief," inter lacrimus et luctum. So it's interesting to think about that opening phrase I've just played in the light of this. So there is darkness in this sonata, however sunny it might appear at first glance. And this, then, to scroll back to Beethoven's music in general, I think it's incredibly important to be aware of the dark side alongside the light. There's the rumbustious, rather forceful side of Beethoven, but also the moments of quiet reflection. So I think really to understand Beethoven, above all in his 250th anniversary year, we have to come to terms with the 2 sides of this amazing composer. So Beethoven died in his late 50s in March 1827, leaving the classical music world with a real problem actually. How do you follow an example like Beethoven, somebody who revolutionised all of the standard musical forms in Western classical music at the time? Somebody who came up with a successful answer to that was the other composer in this program, Felix Mendelssohn, an amazing boy wonder, child prodigy who really at this time was emerging as a teenage wunderkind in his very privileged and comfortable upbringing in Berlin. So Mendelssohn went on to take a lot of Beethoven's ideas and the spirit of Beethoven and take them forward in his own direction. And there are 2 works for cello and piano by Mendelssohn in this program. One of them is Mendelssohn's own first cello sonata, and this is a work that dates from 1838, when Mendelssohn was taking charge of music at in the great Saxon city of Leipzig. And Leipzig, then as now, has a strong musical tradition behind it. Mendelssohn, in fact, was conducting concerts with the Gewandhaus, which to this day has a great orchestra which has really been founded on his great example. Now, Mendelssohn's music is light and tuneful and very accessible, and if you were to listen to Mendelssohn alongside Beethoven, you might miss some of the darkness and the struggle that's definitely there in Beethoven's music. And actually, I sometimes feel the lack of that too. However, I would put it to you that the Leipzig of the late 1830s is a very different place from revolutionary era Vienna, where Beethoven was having to endure Austrian occupation and things like that. So we're really at the dawn with Mendelssohn of the Victorian era, the year before Queen Victoria had taken the throne here in the United Kingdom. So it was different strokes for different folks, you could say. 2 fantastic composers. You can have great fun following the listening links on the website, and perhaps even listening to the 2 sets of variations by Mendelssohn and Beethoven side by side and seeing how you get on, and similarly with the sonatas. So, as I say, use those notes and use the listening suggestions and the links on the website, and assemble your own virtual concert of these 2 great composers from the Romantic era. I hope you found these insights useful, and do check back in a few days' time when I'm going to be giving more insights into the next concert in the virtual 2020 Investec International Music Festival season. Take care.